Hey there, Waco. It's your neighborhood NextHome Our Town team back at it with the Monday market update for the Waco, Texas area. Just a little to introduce myself. My name is Rachelle Dorroh. I've lived in Waco for over 8 years now. I'm a Baylor alum and I'm one of the newer agents in our office. I can't tell you just how much I love where I work, the people I get to work with, and those that I get to help get into their next home. It is just the best. Okay, on with our update. Here are our top takeaways. Number one, as interest rates trend upwards, we have less buying potential out there. Number two, even with lesser buying potential, much of Waco area home sales are averaging above 100% of the home's listing price. And number three, no matter the market, there are still many out there who have to sell and have to buy. The housing market here is still looking very strong at this point. Okay, let's get into the data today. Since last week, we've seen 53 new listings, 26 price decreases, 21 are back on the market after a deal fell apart, 7 are under contract with contingency, 95 homes went under contract, and 51 homes crossed the finish line to the closing table and are marked as sold. Now let's take a closer look at the top two data points. Price decreases have steadily been around half the number of new listings for a few weeks now. Initially, we were thinking this was related to sellers overpricing their properties due to an eagerness to get ahead of the next comparable sales data coming in at higher price per square foot. And they desired to maximize their returns since they'd have to pay way over asking for their next home. However, we are considering a new theory today, and we wanted to see what your thoughts were about this. The increasing interest rates are quelling the number of buyers who can afford homes. Let me explain. There's still a massive shortage of inventory. Our latest data suggests that the listing count is down by more than 10% this year compared to last year in 2021. A massive shortage of supply. Since demand is still incredibly strong, buying a home still competitive, home prices kept climbing. With the interest rates still under 4, more people could afford a nicer home. They could justify selling because they could move up to a nicer property. This also kept prices high as more buyers were available to higher price points due to this affordability. Now, with interest rates rising, fewer buyers can afford to move up, including would-be sellers looking to improve their lot. And so, one, even though we have fewer homes on the market, we have even less buyers who can afford the higher price points. Demand is shrinking as the interest rates climb. Therefore, price decreases. What do you think? I'm wondering, in an effort to keep this so-called bubble from bursting, are they just killing all home sales with a higher interest rate? And now, even though concerns about the pandemic are waning, there's the war and gas prices, putting even more downward pressure on buyers and discouraging sellers to list and investment opportunities. As we are reading more of the news, Zillow, CoreLogic, and many others, Fortune states it the best, saying the housing market faces its biggest test yet. As we wrap up here, let's take a quick look at the price bands for this past month. It is quite evident that the most fluid price band in Waco is 200 to 300,000 range. It has the lowest average number of days on the market at 24 days. 91 total homes in this price range have sold in the Waco area since early March. The price bands just below and just above this most fluid price band show the highest percentage of sold price to listing price percent. So on average, most homes are selling well above the original listing price. There are so many buyers out there. As the interest prices continue to trend up, it will be interesting to see how these percentage points respond in the coming weeks and months ahead as we move into spring and into summer months. Okay, remember our top takeaways. Number one, interest rates trending upwards. This will continue to be the trend. You may not be able to afford the same amount of home or land later than you can now. Number two, sales prices are still very strong. If your home is move-in ready, it takes very little time to sell in today's market. Combined with the lower end of interest rates at this time, you may see more fluidity and ability to move on up. Lastly, we continue to see an influx of people moving into our area. Waco, our visitors are continually impressed with your hospitality and community. We know you will welcome our newcomers with open arms. So that's it for this week's market update. See you next week, Next Homies.